Lying hamstring curls are a staple exercise for top bodybuilders and athletes when it comes to building massive hamstrings. In my opinion, this exercise is a secret weapon for hamstring development because you can load up the hamstrings with heavy resistance, control it through a full range of motion, and it also doesn't put a lot of stress on your lower back. If you're training at home, you probably have limited equipment and you're relying on heavy compound movements like squats, deadlifts, RDLs to build your hamstrings. But you're missing out on the isolation exercises like lying hamstring curls that will really force those muscles to grow on top of the compound movements. First up, we have a resistance band lying hamstring curl. So all you need is a 41-inch resistance band, a low anchor point. I'm using a wall anchor. You can use a door anchor strap or just anchor it to anything close to the floor that's heavy. And then also to make these super comfortable, I like to use a pair of ankle straps. So these are from Clench Fitness and they work really well, especially with the bigger carabiners so that you can stack big bands inside of them. And then third is a bench. You don't necessarily need the bench, but I like to have the bench if you have it available because it gets you up off the floor and it helps kind of get you that full range of motion. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So all you gotta do is anchor your band to the wall using that half hitch knot, or you could use the carabiner if you have it. And then the way that I like to set these up, bring the band between your legs, and then we just hook in one band, one side to each carabiner, and then you're gonna step out and away from the anchor point because we need to get tension on this band through the full range of motion. And then we're gonna lie down on the bench and scoot ourselves away. So I have tension now pulling myself into this fully lengthened position. And then the form for the exercise is you wanna drive your hips into the pad and do not let them move. So you're basically trying to get hip extension, thrusting those hips into the pad, and then we're gonna curl our legs all the way up, full contraction at the top, big squeeze, and then let it down really slow and control that negative. This exercise really lends itself to momentum, especially when it gets heavy. So a lot of people like to just like throw this thing up there and bang out through the reps, but honestly, you're not getting any benefit out of it. You wanna have really slow, controlled contractions, big squeeze, thrust those hips into the pad, let it down nice and slow, full extension, pause at the bottom, change over, big squeeze at the top. Exhale, let it down nice and slow. And that's how you're gonna get the most bang for your buck out of this exercise. All right, variation number 2, we're gonna do some dumbbell lying hamstring curls off the floor. So we're basically gonna stand a dumbbell vertically up off the end of our mat here, and then it's super easy. You just get down into a prone on your all four stance here. And then this is the challenging part, is getting your feet kind of hooked into the dumbbell. It's nice to use larger headed dumbbells so that you can get your feet under it. And then we're just gonna extend out, thrust those hips into the pad, and then we're gonna lift this dumbbell off the floor, nice and slow. Same thing as before, slow and controlled, big squeeze at the top, and then let it down nice and slow. Now the big difference with this is that the dumbbell is gonna be super heavy out here at the bottom, and that's where we're gonna fight it the most. And don't just slam this thing on the floor. I want you to just kiss it off the floor very gently and then control it, change it over, big squeeze all the way through. Same thing, let it down nice and slow, kiss it off the floor, and then curl it up. Now I love mixing and matching the dumbbell hamstring curls and the banded hamstring curls because like I said, the dumbbell is gonna be a lot heavier at the bottom side of the rep, so it's gonna work more the bottom of your hamstring. And then the band is exactly the opposite. It's gonna be light at the bottom, then it's gonna get heavy at the top. So I love to just mix and match them and interchange them in my workouts to really hammer on those entire hamstrings. All right, and last but not least, if you have a bench with a leg curl attachment similar to this in your home gym, there's a lot of different variations out there, but they all kind of function the same way. You have this pivoting piece here that you hook your legs under. You can do leg extensions, leg curls, and they're usually plate loaded just like this one is. And I'm gonna show you a tip here to combine some bands and free weights to get you a really good strength curve that kind of mimics more of what you would see on a traditional cable stack driven machine. So with this, like I said, with the free weights, it's going to be heavy at the bottom, and then kind of as you go through this range of motion, it's going to get lighter at the top of the rep. So the way that we can modify that is to use a 13-inch mini band and then just hook it right around the peg here. And now when we stretch that, it's gonna be a lot more consistent throughout, because as we kind of go through that rep, the free weight resistance is falling off and the mini band resistance is increasing. So it's gonna feel a lot more consistent and you're gonna get a really good contraction. The form and everything is the same as before. And now you're just gonna notice a lot smoother, a lot more consistent strength curve. And then it's gonna get super difficult right up at the top where you're really squeezing and you let it down nice and slow. And with a piece like this, you can honestly build huge hamstrings just like you would in a gym. All right, I hope you enjoyed those 3 variations. I'm super curious. Let me know in the comments below if you currently program some sort of lying hamstring curl or just a hamstring curl in general in your home workouts. I'm curious what it is and what you do. So if you like this video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, if you want to see more exercises like this, especially like lower body stuff, check out this on-screen video link to a playlist on lower body exercises. Furthermore, if you need any of the bands or accessories shown today, head over to clenchfitness.com. We will hook you up, and thank you for watching.